Hello everyone, I'm Matt of the Tank Engine Society, and welcome to our very first film festival. We have received so many incredible entries that we have decided to split the event into 3 separate premieres. The first premiere is the one you're watching right now, and that will end a little bit before 6 p.m. The second premiere will start at 6 p.m. EST and run till about 7 p.m. EST, and all of the entries that didn't make the first 2 premieres will air sometime next week. So don't worry if your entry didn't make the first 2. We assure you it will be seen in the third, where people who were a little late or needed to revise their entry will be given a little more time to get it up to speed. In the meantime, we are really excited to show off everyone's hard work. Everyone did an outstanding job. So please sit back, relax, grab a bowl of popcorn, and enjoy the show.
express runs again?
You bet. And off to the loading dock, I assume?
Yeah, and we gotta get going, Michelle. The boat's probably waited ages for us. All right. Cool your pistons, Grace. We'll get it done in twice the time any old crane can.
Well, good luck, you two. Oh, and mind the
Ugh, what is that smell? Ugh.
pong.
You know, I just can't nab my mind on what that smell going about here is. I mean, it's a little bit stinky, but stiffest and above is it a real pong. It's like 2 tons of old boiler sludge mixed with 1 ton of engine ash and 2 wagons of stinky cheese all boiled together in an oven. I'm telling you, it's the worst smell I've smelled since the holy hydraulics. Look out below! Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention and I bungled it up. No worries, at least it solved that fishy situation.
Hi, you two. You got my load of salmon to take to the Birmingham Station Cafe?
Blaines Models Productions presents Man Getting Hit by Football.
Attention. Attention. This message is being transmitted at the request of the governor of the island of Sodor. This is not a test. At 9:17 a.m., the Knapford railway sheds were attacked by a train, hauling flammable materials. The wagons containing the materials have ruptured and exploded. A large fire is quickly spreading towards the downtown area of the city of Knapford. All citizens are advised to evacuate Knapford and take shelter in case of terroristic attacks on Sodor. In other news, the Sodor police and a group of steam locomotives are chasing down a rogue diesel locomotive. The Sodor police and Sir Topham Hatt, controller of the Northwestern Railway, highly encourage avoiding all railway lines and stations until the rogue locomotive has been detained or, more likely, killed.
That was odd.
It was early morning on the island of Sodor. Toby and Henrietta were waiting for James at the junction. They were looking old-fashioned and do need new paint. Oh look, there's our friend James. Why does he look so annoyed? Blech! What dirty objects! At last, Toby lost patience. James, why are you red? I'm a splendid red engine, ready for anything. You'll never see my paintwork dirty. Oh, that's why you need bootlaces. To be ready, I suppose.
Lights. Camera. Action.
You're lucky to have a long line, Wilbert told Thomas and Toby. Mine is only 1.5 miles long, with a station at Norchard and another at Lydney. The scenery is super though, and my driver says it's better up the valley. Our volunteers are going to open that bit too. They work hard, but it takes a long time. One of Wilbert's first jobs was at the lead mine. Don't pass the danger notice, Thomas warned. I fell down a mine once. Wilbert smiled. I've worked in a colliery, he said, so I know about danger notices. But, he added, there was an engine once who thought he knew better. What happened? Asked Toby and Thomas. Wilbert paused. This engine didn't have a name, he began. Just a number, 16, and he worked in a steelworks. One of the jobs that 16 and his friends had to do was to take the waste from the works in special trucks to a place they called the tip. Well, went on Wilbert, 16 got tired of always stopping in the same place. He tried to go further, but his driver always prevented him. The other engines tried to stop him too. If the notice says danger, you shouldn't pass it, they said. 16 paid no attention. Don't be stupid, his driver said. We mustn't pass the notice, or goodness knows where we shall end up. But 16 wanted to know. Pooh, he scoffed. I can take care of myself. One wet day, 16's chance came. The rails were slippery, and when his driver tried to stop, he couldn't. You see, 16 had asked the trucks which were in front of him to carry on past the warning sign. They did just that, and their momentum pulled 16 with them. You silly engine, scolded his driver. Wasn't my fault, muttered 16 sulkily. It was those trucks. You always wanted to pass that board, said the driver crossly. I believe you asked them to drag us on purpose. A foreman ran towards them. What are you doing there, driver? He shouted. It's not safe. The trucks dragged us, explained the driver. Well, come to the office with me, and you, fireman, get your engine back on firm ground before it's too late, ordered the foreman. But it was already too late. As the foreman turned away, the earth beneath 16's wheels sank and the rails sagged. A small rush of stones clattered away to the bottom of the bank. 16's fireman knew that if he tried to move the engine now, he would only make things worse. Ooh, groaned 16. Beneath his weight, the rails sagged even more. Suddenly, they fell away completely. As the fireman leapt for safety, 16 overbalanced. The coupling between him and the trucks broke, and he rolled cab over wheels down the bank. He reached the bottom with a crash and lay on his side, looking surprised and leaking steam in all directions. Help! He gasped weakly. Thomas and Toby were silent. What happened to 16 after that? Ventured Toby. Oh, he was rescued, Wilbert said, but he wasn't repaired, and he was sent to the back of the shed in disgrace. Is he still there? Asked Thomas. He got better than he deserved, smiled Wilbert. Some preservation people came and bought him, and now he lives in the Midlands, but I think he's lucky to have been given a second chance. Thomas and Toby could only agree.
I am the truth. I am the light.
Say it again.
I am the truth. I am the light. I repel darkness in the night.
The world is filled with uncertainty. You have to free yourself. Next step.
I am the truth. I am the light. I repel darkness in the night.
Say it again.
I am strong. I am free. Who I am shall see the real me.
Now open your eyes.
Do you know who you are?
Who, asked the little engines, is Godred? Godred was our number one and named after a king. Perhaps that went to his smoke box and made him conceited. He never kept a good lookout. He'd roll down the line looking anywhere but the track. You'll have an accident, I told him. I have my automatic brakes, haven't I? And driver's got his air brake. What more do you want? More sense from you, I told him. No engine can stop at once if he isn't ready to obey his driver's controls. The first thing a young engine learns, agreed Scarloey.
Hello everybody, we just want to make a special shout out to Silly Sausage Slideshow Studio, or Aiden. He had trouble getting his entry in time, but asked if we could give him a shout out tonight. So Aiden, I just want to say that you have the mind of a gazelle and the legs of Albert Einstein. Wait, that's not what...
Hey guys, it's Ryan, also known as 3 Henry the Green Engine here. It's been a while since my last Wind Railway video. But honestly, I'm working on other non-Thomas related content right now. Over the past few years, I've released a couple different things, including a pilot for an unreleased web series, Amongst the Undead, a short film, Linked, and my senior capstone film, The Treasure of the Knights of Enofa. I'm also currently in pre-production for a full-length pilot, The Girl from the Ground. Anyway, The Girl from the Ground is still a few months away from production, but today I would like to share with you a scene from my senior capstone film, The Treasure of the Knights of Enofa. Please subscribe to my other non-Thomas channel, Shoutout Productions, and please enjoy this clip.
Hey, could I get my money now? I'm gonna forget to ask later.
Right, well, we don't have the money yet.
I don't follow.
The money is some kind of treasure and we need help on it.
Treasure hunt, wonderful. It'd be like Indiana Jones. Laura Croft. Rick O'Connell, you know? You got from the Mummy? 3rd greatest movie of all time.
Will, just start looking.
They make a splendid engine like me, dirty trucks in the middle of the night. It's ridiculous. Huh? It's odd. Why is that signal red? Aren't I the only train running tonight? Or at least supposed to be? Everyone else has probably gone to sleep, haven't they? Except for maybe the owls. Stupid birds. Ah! Oh. What was that? Hello? Who's there? Oh. What was that? Okay. I think that's enough for tonight.
Oh, hello, Diesel. Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, you can. Did Sydney come by here today with some machine parts?
I don't think so. Unless, of course, I was moving about in my sleep.
That does happen sometimes.
Oh, wait a minute! It was a crane by the sea!
But we know it wasn't Cranky, Sydney. And I don't know any other cranes by the sea.
Excuse me, gents. Oh, I believe I do.
Hugo is a rail zeppelin. He has a propeller on the back and is one of the fastest engines in the world. One afternoon he was taking passengers to the Sodor airport when he saw someone that he has never met before.
Hello, who are you?
Oh, hello there. My name is Jeremy.
I'm Hugo. Are you a plane?
No, I'm a tugboat.
You don't look like one.
I am only joking, of course. I'm a plane. I take passengers from Sodor to the mainland.
Wow, it sounds amazing.
You look like you could fly.
I've already tried many times, but I couldn't get off the tracks, even an inch.
I bet you haven't tried on my runway.
That sounds like a great idea.
Why don't you come and fly me to the mainland?
Oh, yes, please.
Soon Hugo is on the runway, ready to take off.
Now, as soon as you pick up speed, try and lift up. Spin your propeller thingamajig as fast as you can.
I'll try.
3, 2, 1, go!
I did it.
the most important thing when you fly is pay full attention to your surroundings and to always fill up with plenty of fuel.
Fill up with fuel.
Yes, you don't want to fall halfway through your trip.
Oops.
Idiots.
Toby the tram engine has worked on Thomas's branch line for many years. He's a kind engine and loves to help whenever he can. When Thomas and Percy get into arguments, he often tries to calm them down. Even so, it does get a bit maddening at times.
Okay, Percy, I'm sorry you feel that way, but all I'm saying is I'm the most important engine on this branch. I mean, why else is it named after me?
I don't know, Thomas. Maybe because you were the first engine to start working here.
Percy was getting fed up.
But that doesn't mean you're the most important. Toby and I do all the labor around here. All you do is pull passengers all day. We do the dirty work.
That's not true at all. Toby, tell Percy you think he's wrong.
No, Toby. Tell Thomas what you really think. Tell him you think he's being ignorant.
I think both of you are acting like children. Arguing doesn't solve anything. One day I might not be here and you two will have to find a way to work without me.
You're right, Toby. We are sorry. You aren't going anywhere anytime soon, right?
Haha, goodness me, no.
The engines laughed. They quite enjoyed having Toby around. He was always there when they needed him. The next morning, the Fat Controller pulled up to the engine shed.
Morning, sir.
Morning,
Morning,
sir. Morning, all. Now I do have some news. Toby, I'm afraid this will be your last week working for a while. You're in need of an overhaul and I simply can't keep putting it off.
Sir, with all due respect, who will do my jobs while I'm away?
Seeing as I can't afford to bring in another engine from the mainland, Thomas and Percy will. I'll also be bringing Daisy in to help with the passengers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The week went by, and soon it was time for Toby to go.
I'll be back soon. Take care of the branch while I'm away.
Bye, Toby.
Bye, Toby. Hurry back. I don't know if we'll be able to take care of the branch line without Toby. He's like the glue that holds us together.
Well, we can try. Percy, I have something to tell you. Before Toby left, I really took our friendship for granted, and I'm sorry.
It's alright, Thomas. I wasn't perfect either. But the most important thing is that we put our differences aside. Now let's get to bed before we wake up Daisy.
The next morning, the engines awoke to the sound of a bell.
Toby, you're back!
Of course I am. You didn't think I'd leave you forever, did you?
It's good to see you again, old friend.
How'd everything go without me here? I trust you kept everything in order.
The two engines looked at each other and grinned. Although they had worked well together, they were glad to have Toby home.
Honestly, it's pathetic. A splendid engine like me being forced to pull dirty goods trains. It's disgraceful.
Now, James, we've already been over this. Henry was pulling another train, and you were the only engine available to take this one. Look, we're already here. Once we finish speaking to the yard manager, we can go back home.
Fine.
So, I see you're one of those soda engines.
Yes, I am. I don't think I've met you before, and I come here often.
Yes, I usually pull express trains between here and London, at least for now.
How do you mean?
Dieselization. You must have heard it already, boy. Steam engines are slowly being withdrawn and replaced by diesels. Right now it's just common shunters working in yards, but soon it'll spread to the main line, and trains like the expresses I pull will be diesel-hauled.
That would never happen on Sodor, though. The Fat Controller wouldn't allow it.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong. This isn't about Sir Topham Hatt. It's about the diesels. Their takeover is inevitable.
You are starting to sound just like one of them yourself. The Fat Controller would never let any of us be scrapped.
Oh, really? As I recall, several Victorian-era engines on your railway had to be scrapped during the Great Depression by your previous controller.
That was completely out of Sir Topham's control. The railway was losing money, and the railway board forced his hand. He had no choice.
No choice, no control, just like now. You see, what you don't understand is that this is far bigger than any of us. It is human nature to keep making technological advancements. They're never satisfied with the status quo. They always want to keep making everything bigger and better. This decline of steam was inevitable. Horses getting replaced by steam engines getting replaced by diesels. Eventually something even more technologically advanced will come along and put diesels out of service. Your controller, no matter how noble his intentions are, he can't fight change. He can't fight the natural way of the world. Already dieselization is slowly happening. Your little island can't hold out forever. Mark my words.
And why exactly are you telling me all of this?
To warn you of what's to come. Unfortunately, the diesel takeover is inevitable. Your railway won't be spared. You'd best be on your guard.
James, who was that you were talking to?
No one. I was just talking to myself.
Duck and Oliver sat in their sheds one cold morning. Duck was fed up. "You know, Oliver," Duck said, "I'm a Great Western engine. I shouldn't have to shiver. Where is that firelighter?" "So am I, Duck, remember?" Oliver replied plainly. "The firelighter's probably delayed by the snow. Besides," Oliver said, trying to change the subject, "I think snow is wonderful." Duck rolled his eyes. "If anything, we would be the ones delayed by the snow. By blocked rails. Harumph." Oliver gave up and closed his eyes, and tried to go back to sleep until the firelighter came. Later that day, Duck puffed down the line, still grumbling. The coaches tittered. "He's upset. I hope he's not with us," one said. "It's not us, it's the coal," said the other. Duck pulled into the station, slipping on the rails and hitting the buffers with a slang. "Oh my!" Duck spluttered. He looked around to regain his surroundings, only to see a snowman looking at him. The workman had made it that morning. Duck was not impressed. "Now what is this nonsense?" Duck said.
"I think he's nice, Mr. Duck. Puts me in the wintry spirit,"
said Toad from the siding. "Oh, hello, Toad. What are you doing here?" Duck asked, surprised.
"I was on Mr. Douglas's goods train last night, and it started snowing. So he left me here so him and Mr. Donald could clear the line.
Toad replied. Ah, I see. I'll tell you what. I can take you back up the branch line on my return train, and then I can use you on my goods train later on. How does that sound?
Just wonderful, sir,
Toad replied. Duck shunted Toad onto the back of his coach and set off. Later on, Duck got his train together with Toad at the back. The trucks didn't like the cold either, and were very irritable and ready to start mischief. Come along, no nonsense, Duck snapped.
Oh, we'll give him nonsense. On!
Duck crashed through the buffers and skidded along the ground, right through the workman snowman.
Is there a problem, Mr. Duck?
Yes, there is. Or I suppose, there was, Duck said sheepishly. His driver walked to the station and came back looking glum. Sorry, old boy, the breakdown train is at Knapford and won't be available until the morning. The driver and fireman started to walk away. Where are you two going? Duck snapped. To wait for a bus. There's nothing more we can do here. Night soon came, and the yard became quiet. Duck was miserable. All he had for company was Toad and the trucks, and then the snow started to fall. Duck had a lot of thinking to do. The next morning, Oliver arrived with the breakdown train. Duck was covered in snow. Oliver puffed up. Oh, I'm sorry I was so rude yesterday, Duck sighed. I should have realized it could have been worse. The nice warm shed is sounding very nice right now.
Oh, it's all right. We all get irritable now and again, especially when it's cold,
Oliver said sympathetically.
You know, if I didn't know any better, I would call you Frosty the Snow Engine.
He chuckled. Duck laughed too. Soon enough, he was back on the line, and the two friends were making their way back home.
You know, Thomas, we really do live on a magical island. You're right, Henry, we do.
Ah. This concludes our first block. Stay close to your screen. Our next block will begin very soon.